And I ought to say that, we're marking an event that is personally embarrassing to me. I used to be president of the Foreign Correspondents Club. And I have to admit that I was a president at a time when issues of liberty were simply not on the agenda. We took it for granted. I was never looking over my shoulder saying, wow, goodness me, let's see who's on the list of people who've won a Human Rights Press Award. That could be dangerous for us. It simply did not occur to us. Now, I understand the pressures that the Foreign Correspondents Club is under these days. I understand that they're there and I'm not. I understand all these things. But I do think it's lamentable that the FCC has decided to withdraw its support from this very important award, not least because, it wasn't just an award for Hong Kong. We should stress this. It was a recognition of the work of journalists all over Asia in very extreme circumstances, some of whom are award winners this year. Journalists working in Myanmar. In the past, we've been giving awards to people working in the Philippines under very, very difficult conditions indeed. And the point was that in Hong Kong, you had the liberty to recognize their work without threat. That has now disappeared. And both you, Samuel, and Gillian have referred to this business of red lines that are being drawn all over the place in Hong Kong. And the problem with these red lines is nobody really knows how far they go. So the FCC decided, out of an abundance of caution, you may say, that they thought the red line crossed over the awards under this scheme. I would only say that if anybody wanted to know more about where the red lines existed, they need to refer to a press conference with Carrie Lam, the chief executive of Hong Kong, over a year ago, in which she was asked, you talk about red lines that journalists shouldn't cross. Can you please tell us what they are? So, at least we know the parameters of where we can operate. And she, obviously having read George Orwell's 1984 very carefully, gave an answer straight out of the Orwellian dystopia. And she said, you know where the red lines are. I don't need to tell you, just don't cross them. This is what authoritarian governments always do. They want fear, they want uncertainty, and ultimately they want punishment of people who challenge the authority of the state. And in this instance, the authority of the state is being challenged by people who believe in freedom of speech, as has been said before, something which is guaranteed in Hong Kong's new constitution. So that's where we are today, and it's a very lamentable thing that we've got this deep into the mire, but we are where we are. And I know that, Samuel, you asked, does that mean the end of these awards, the end of the ability to have a free press in Hong Kong? I'm afraid to say it does mean it for the time being, but, never is for never. Never is forever. And I remain totally optimistic that this nightmare will pass.